Alright everyone, we start off today with Twitter-related news. Elon Musk is making a threat to some of the ad companies that are trying to boycott Twitter to, bring down profitability. He's threatening a thermonuclear name and shame of these particular companies. Spurred on by another poster, link in the description, you can see the status for yourself. I was reminded of the past. I was like, shit. I wander into 2009 again or something. Companies used to actually do this. This is going to be cast off as evidence of Elon Musk being rabid and extremist by the legacy media and probably other big tech. But it used to be fairly commonplace. Big tech actually, back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, basically up until around 2015 and 16, I wonder what happened then that caused them to have their change of mind. Used to go after, if the government wanted to impose new copyright restrictions, like with SOPA or something like that, if there was some regime that was violating human rights habitually, they got called out by tech firms. They used to do this. I can remember back when Mozilla were still good guys, instead of working with George Soros, for example. They would do this as well with private companies. They did it with the legacy media. Now, you'll remember that the legacy media like Fox, CNN, etc. used to cast off YouTube, Facebook when it was young, MySpace certainly, etc. As agents of evil. Well, they're growing so quickly, and this corporate greed, and they're spreading, hate speech and stuff like that, and they would counter, and they would say basically fuck off. They stopped doing that more than half a decade ago. Musk appears to be using the interesting tactic of reviving what effectively is from the Wild West days of the internet, which is, hey, I've got a platform with over 100 million users on it. I'm sure that some of those users buy your product or like your corporate brand, but maybe I'm going to get them to choose between my corporate brand and yours, and some of these advertisers are far smaller than Twitter happens to be. This could shut them up. Now, it's not going to impact McDonald's. It's not going to do anything for Walmart or something like that. The big corporate hegemons will withdraw, and he can make a stink about it, and he can't really do anything. But if you can get, let's say, 1% of the people on your platform that would be inclined to join a counter boycott while also having something to boycott. So they buy a certain brand of shoes. They go to a certain restaurant. They like a certain brand of automobile. Let's say only 1% of them that would be impacted by the counter boycott because they actually do business with that advertiser would care enough to potentially involve themselves in the counter boycott. It's over 1 million people, not counting the bots and so forth on the platform, so it's probably half of that. That's a lot of people, and depending on what kind of product you happen to be selling, you could take a big hit to your sales totals quarter over quarter, and then you get fucked. Then people who have invested in your company all of a sudden start asking questions. Hey, maybe you should cool it with the Elon Musk hate. You've riled him up. You riled up the proud African-American immigrant, and now he's lashing out at you, and all of a sudden my investment's worth 5% less. What the fuck gives? Why can't you just go back to advertising on the platform, swallow your pride or something like that? Also, you've got to understand one other important thing about Twitter. It's a dumpster fire. A lot of people who only use Twitter only really use it to rile others up anyway, like not to make intelligent posts, but just to reply guy on various posts, stir up trouble for political reasons, etc., etc. When you have an amalgamation of people with that kind of personality, or personality disorder, I know that definitely applies in my case, maybe they're a little bit more apt to join in the fun of not necessarily boycotting themselves. They might not interact with the product, but perpetuating the concept of a boycott, even beyond the walls of Twitter, yeah, that could have some impact. I like it. This is probably what should be done. I don't think it needs to be a top-down Elon Musk whips up his fan base into a frenzy moment. People should be doing this anyway. The pink-haired freak lunatic weirdos out there already do this on a regular basis. They've shown that it can work. It's just that other people are too reluctant to join in the basic concept. And as someone who supports free speech and free expression, I look at it as this situation. If McDonald's or Wendy's or Adidas or something don't want to do business with Twitter, that's perfectly fine. Their company can invest wherever it wants. They want a return on investment. If they think Twitter is going to be a toxic brand that they should avoid, that's perfectly fine. Other people may, though, look at that, individuals and groups, may look at that decision, say that is indeed the real toxicity, the creeping towards more and more censorship, bending over, kowtowing to the pink-haired lynch mob, which is, at the end of the day, a shrieking minority of people. It's even a minority of the far left. And they may decide to sever their business with McDonald's or with Adidas or one of these other companies. And the fact that they are brought to the awareness that they should do that by Elon Musk will be cast off as the evil billionaire trying to control public conversation, which is very interesting. He was a private Twitter user before, and these same people still had a problem with him saying what he wanted to say. Again, a proud African-American immigrant and richest man in the world, which is always very interesting. He broke the glass ceiling, I suppose. They don't give him any credit for this. Much like they don't give any credit to the first female prime minister of Italy, Meloni, because, of course, she happens to be the first female prime minister, but she has the wrong beliefs, so they're not exactly celebrating that crack in the glass ceiling either. First president of the United States happens to be Carrie Lake, first female president or something. They won't celebrate that either. They'll say, well, there's an asterisk by that name. They do this with Elon Musk constantly. And he's having a great time, no doubt. He is a bit of a shit poster. He has fun doing this. And he realizes also that it gets him attention when he makes a threat like this or makes some grandiose post saying, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to make the blue checkmark crowd pay money per month to keep their verification or whatever. It riles people up. He knows how to get attention. Look, he made a glorified weed wand work as far as a marketing ploy by saying it's not a flamethrower. When he smashed out the window of one of the Teslas there, I guess the glass was supposed to be unbreakable or something. It's not really a loss. It might be egg on your face, but it goes viral. More people know that Tesla exists now. If someone's looking for an electric vehicle, I don't think that they really care about the fact that its glass might break if you literally slam into it with a sledgehammer. I think that's a little bit overkill. What the fuck are they worried about? I guess if you're in moose country, it could be a little bit of a problem. It won't hold up. Try hitting one of them at 40 miles per hour and see where the moose ends up. In your lap, mostly. Hopefully it's already dead, because otherwise you've got much bigger problems, by the way. I like this. This is a Wild West Internet thing. And again, while I'm praising Elon Musk for this, and it is masterful, I am not part of the Elon worship cult. I realize he is not a libertarian purist. Twitter is never going to be the actual hellhole of free speech that the left worries about, but it will improve. In fact, I would say despite no TOS changes yet, because his council is still convening to work out the details, the site has already improved, at least a little bit. That's about all. Peace out.